Noam Chomsky is a remarkable man. He's a brilliant scholar, a respected professor, and a fearless activist. His contributions to linguistics and cognitive science have revolutionized the field, but his influence extends far beyond academia. Chomsky is also a relentless critic of social injustices and political corruption. He has spent decades challenging the status quo and advocating for the marginalized and oppressed. His voice resonates with those who feel unheard, and his words inspire action and change. He speaks up for those who can't speak for themselves. Whether it's through his lectures, writings, or public appearances, Chomsky consistently addresses issues that many are afraid to confront. He brings attention to the struggles of the disenfranchised and the injustices that plague our society. His unwavering commitment to truth and justice makes him a beacon of hope for many. That's what makes his book, Interventions, so important. In this collection of essays, Chomsky delves into the complexities of global politics and the often hidden motives behind governmental actions. He provides a critical analysis of events that shape our world, offering readers a deeper understanding of the forces at play. In this book, Chomsky tackles a tough subject: US foreign policy. He scrutinizes the decisions made by American leaders and the impact of these decisions on both domestic and international fronts. His insights reveal the often overlooked consequences of military interventions and political maneuvers. He asks hard questions about America's role in the world. Chomsky challenges us to think critically about the narratives presented by those in power. He encourages us to question the motives behind foreign policies and to consider the ethical implications of our nation's actions. He wants us to think about the impact of our actions on others. Chomsky's work reminds us that our choices have far-reaching consequences. He urges us to be mindful of how our actions affect people around the globe, particularly those in vulnerable and conflict-ridden regions. Chomsky believes in peace and justice. His advocacy for these principles is evident in his relentless pursuit of truth and his dedication to exposing injustices. He envisions a world where equity and fairness prevail, and he works tirelessly to make that vision a reality. He's dedicated his life to fighting for these principles. From his early days as an activist to his current role as a public intellectual, Chomsky has consistently championed the causes of peace and justice. His life's work serves as a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of standing up for what is right. His words are powerful, insightful, and thought-provoking. Chomsky's ability to articulate complex ideas in a way that is accessible and engaging has earned him a global following. His speeches and writings continue to inspire and challenge readers and listeners to think more deeply about the world around them. Interventions is a must-read for anyone who cares about the world we live in. This book is not just a collection of essays, it is a call to action. Chomsky's insights compel us to become more informed and engaged citizens, to question the status quo, and to strive for a more just and equitable world. It's a call to action, urging us to be more informed and engaged citizens. By reading Interventions, we are not only gaining knowledge, but also being inspired to take action. Chomsky's work challenges us to think critically, act compassionately, and work towards a better future for all. Chomsky argues that the US often acts as a global superpower, intervening in other countries' affairs. This role has been a defining characteristic of American foreign policy for decades, shaping the geopolitical landscape in profound ways. From the Cold War era to the present day, the US has maintained a significant military presence around the globe, with bases in numerous countries and a history of involvement in various conflicts. These actions are often justified under the guise of promoting democracy and protecting national interests. But the true motivations and consequences are frequently subjects of intense debate. He questions whether these interventions are always justified or beneficial. Critics argue that such actions can lead to unintended consequences, including prolonged conflicts, regional instability, and significant civilian casualties. The ethical implications of intervening in the sovereignty of other nations are complex and multifaceted, raising questions about the balance between national security and global responsibility. He suggests that the US often prioritizes its own interests, even if it means harming others. This self-interest can manifest in various forms, such as securing access to natural resources, maintaining strategic alliances, or exerting political influence. The human cost of these priorities is often borne by the populations of the countries involved, who may suffer from displacement, loss of life, and long-term socio-economic challenges. Chomsky believes that true peace can only be achieved through cooperation and understanding, not through force. He advocates for diplomatic solutions and collaborative efforts that address the root causes of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, and lack of access to education and healthcare. By fostering mutual respect and dialogue, nations can work together to build a more just and peaceful world. He challenges us to consider the perspectives of those living in countries where the US intervenes. What are their experiences? These individuals often face daily hardships and uncertainties, struggling to rebuild their lives amidst the chaos of conflict. Their stories provide valuable insights into the real impact of foreign interventions, highlighting the resilience and strength of communities in the face of adversity. What are their hopes and dreams? Despite the challenges, many people in these regions hold on to aspirations for a better future. They dream of peace, stability, and opportunities for their children. Understanding and supporting these aspirations is crucial for creating lasting solutions that promote human dignity and development. Chomsky reminds us that every human life has value, regardless of where they come from. This fundamental principle underscores the importance of empathy and solidarity in addressing global challenges. By recognizing our shared humanity, we can work towards a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. He encourages us to approach global issues with empathy and compassion. In doing so, we can contribute to a more equitable and peaceful world, where the well-being of all people is prioritized over narrow national interests. This vision calls for a collective effort to build bridges, foster understanding, and support those in need, ultimately creating a brighter future for generations to come. One of Chomsky's key themes is media manipulation. He delves into how the media, often seen as a pillar of democracy, can sometimes act as a tool for propaganda. This manipulation isn't always overt. It can be subtle, shaping public perception through selective coverage and framing of events. He argues that the media often presents a biased view of world events, especially when it comes to US foreign policy. This bias can manifest in the way stories are reported, the language used, and the perspectives that are highlighted or ignored. By focusing on certain narratives, the media can influence public opinion and policy decisions. He suggests that the media is often complicit in promoting a pro-war agenda. This can be seen in the way conflicts are covered, with an emphasis on justifying military actions and downplaying the human cost of war. The media's portrayal of war can create a sense of inevitability and righteousness, making it harder for the public to question or oppose military interventions. This can make it difficult for the public to form informed opinions about foreign policy decisions. When the media presents a one-sided view, it limits the range of perspectives that people are exposed to. This can lead to a narrow understanding of complex issues and a lack of critical engagement with important topics. Chomsky encourages us to be critical consumers of news. He believes that we should not take information at face value, but should instead question the sources, motives, and context of the news we consume. By doing so, we can become more informed and engaged citizens. We should question everything we read and hear. This means being aware of our own biases and seeking out information from a variety of sources. It also means being skeptical of sensationalist headlines and looking for deeper, more nuanced analyses of events. It's important to seek out diverse perspectives and to be wary of propaganda. By exposing ourselves to different viewpoints, we can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the world. This can help us to recognize and resist attempts to manipulate our opinions and emotions. We need to be aware of the power of language and imagery. The words and images used in news stories can evoke strong emotions and shape our perceptions. By being mindful of this, we can better understand how media messages are constructed and how they influence us. These tools can be used to manipulate our emotions and shape our understanding of the world. By being critical and informed consumers of news, we can resist manipulation and make more thoughtful, independent decisions about the issues that matter to us. Chomsky also delves into the economics of war. He argues that war is often profitable for corporations and special interest groups. He highlights the close relationship between the government and the military-industrial complex. This relationship, he suggests, can lead to a cycle of endless war. Chomsky believes that we need to find alternative solutions to conflict, solutions that prioritize diplomacy and peace-building. He challenges us to consider the human cost of war. It's not just about dollars and cents. War destroys lives, families, and communities. Chomsky reminds us that peace is not just the absence of war. It's about creating a just and equitable world for all. Section 5. Echoes of Dissent. Chomsky's work resonates with other prominent thinkers and activists, such as Naomi Klein and Howard Zinn. Like Chomsky, Klein and Zinn critique systems of power and expose injustice. Klein's book, The Shock Doctrine, explores how governments and corporations exploit crises to advance their agendas. Zinn's A People's History of the United States challenges traditional narratives of American history, giving voice to the marginalized and oppressed. These authors, along with Chomsky, remind us to question dominant narratives and to hold those in power accountable. They inspire us to fight for a more just and equitable world. Section 6. Chomsky's Words in Action. Interventions is more than just a book. It's a call to action. Chomsky inspires us to get involved in the world around us. We can make a difference. We can start by educating ourselves about important issues. We can support organizations working for peace and justice. We can contact our elected officials and voice our concerns. Every action, no matter how small, can contribute to positive change. We have a responsibility to speak up for what we believe in. Section 7. A Call to Understanding. Chomsky's work is a reminder that we live in a complex and interconnected world. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the challenges we face, but we can't give in to despair. We need to engage in open and honest dialogue. We need to listen to each other, even when we disagree. We need to seek common ground and work together to create a better future. Chomsky's message is one of hope. He believes that a better world is possible, but we need to be willing to fight for it. Section 8. The Enduring Power of Truth. Interventions is a testament to the power of truth. Chomsky's words are as relevant today as they were when the book was first published. His insights into US foreign policy, media manipulation, and the economics of war continue to resonate deeply. Interventions is a timeless work that will continue to challenge and inspire readers for generations to come. Section 9. Interventions, a necessary read. Interventions is not always an easy read, but it's an important one. It's a book that will stay with you long after you finish reading it. It's a book that will make you think critically, question your assumptions, and challenge the status quo. It's a book that will inspire you to be a more informed, engaged, and compassionate citizen of the world. If you're looking for a book that will challenge your perspectives and inspire you to action, Interventions is the book for you.